Xinjiang Islamic Association and Urumqi Yanghang Mosque Imam, and Ms. Aigul Mamat, Director of Yabesh Village, Abad Township of Kashgar City. Thank you. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, friends, good afternoon. Thank you very much for your presence at this meeting. China follows a people-centered approach to human rights, and Xinjiang has made much progress in advancing human rights. Now, Xinjiang has made remarkable achievements in economic and social development. However, anti-China forces in the US and some other Western countries, out of political motives, politicize human rights issues and spread lies and rumors on Xinjiang. They have politicized and weaponized human rights issues. On multilateral occasions, they are creating confrontation. And this will be firmly opposed. So the representatives from Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region will brief you on the progress in the respect and protection of human rights in Xinjiang, China, and we believe you will have a better understanding of the real situation in Xinjiang. Thank you very much, Ambassador Chen Xu. And next, I'll give the floor to His Excellency Mr. Shaukat Zimin, the Chairman of Xinjiang People's Congress. Your Excellency, Ambassador Chen Xu, ladies and gentlemen, friends. To begin with, I would like to express a warm welcome to everyone present at this side event respecting and protecting human rights in Xinjiang. And heartfelt thanks for your long-term attention, understanding, and support for Xinjiang. Xinjiang is located in the hinterland of the Eurasian continent. It's a major corridor for exchanges between Eastern and Western civilizations, an important hub along the ancient Silk Road, and a core area of the Silk Road's economic health. It has a time-honored history. As early as in 60 BCE, the government of the Western Han Dynasty established the Western region's frontier command in Xinjiang. Officially making Xinjiang a part of the Chinese territory. It has a unique geographical advantage. The region is bordered by 8 countries with a land boundary of over 5,700 kilometers and 17 land ports of entry and 2 flight ports. It is the provincial administrative division with the longest boundary line, most bordering countries, and most ports in China. It has a vast land area, covering 1.66 million square kilometers. It accounts for about 1/6 of China's total land territory and is China's largest provincial division. It has rich resource endowments. The region ranks among the first in China in terms of pastures, wildlife, thermal, glacier, and mineral resources. It has diverse cultures. The cultures of different ethnic groups exchanges and integrate with each other and prosper in the embrace of the broader Chinese culture. It enjoys unity. The region is home to all of China's 56 ethnic groups who live together in harmony, solidarity, and mutual respect. It enjoys religious harmony. Islam, Buddhism, Christianity, and many other religions coexist in Xinjiang and are carried forward in a healthy and orderly manner. As the popular saying goes, Xinjiang is a wonderful land. It has lived up to its name and has attracted attention from around the world. And today, I will make a brief introduction to Xinjiang's social and economic development from several aspects. First, we have safeguarded social harmony and stability in accordance with the law. To safeguard social stability is to safeguard the fundamental interests of the people of all ethnic groups. What the people want best is social stability and long-term peace. For some time, terrorists, separatists, and extremist forces inside and outside China have, by distorting, fabricating, and tampering with the history of Xinjiang, exaggerating cultural differences between ethnic groups, instigating isolation and hatred, and advocating religious extremism, engage wildly in separatist and violent terrorist activities, which severely jeopardize stability in Xinjiang. In particular, from 1990 to the end of 2016, the terrorist, separatist, and extremist forces launched thousands of violent and terrorist incidents in Xinjiang, killing large numbers of innocent people and causing immeasurable damage to property. In the face of such severe and complex counterterrorism situation, Xinjiang has held high the banner of socialist rule of law and drawn on the experience and practices of the international community. While taking resolute action against violent and terrorist crimes, we are committed to addressing the problem at its source so as to protect the basic human rights of the people from the scourge of terrorism and extremism to the greatest extent. So far, there has been zero violent terrorist incidents in Xinjiang for over 5 years, and the people's expectations for peace and stability for so many years have been met. Second, we have promoted high-quality economic development. This is to better meet the ever-growing need of the people for a better life. And it's an important measure to expand opening up. In agriculture, we have redoubled efforts in implementing the rural revitalization strategy and advancing high-quality, industrialized, market-oriented, and modernized development of specialty agriculture, including grain, cotton, fruits, and livestock. In industry, we are committed to strengthening its foundations, increasing its efficiency, and promoting its restructuring and upgrading. We will accelerate the development of emerging industries, including new energy and new materials, advance the planning and construction of large-scale wind and PV power bases, and strive to create a new system of energy and modernized industry that is clean, low carbon, safe, and efficient. We have also actively developed modern services, accelerated the development of the financial sector, further implemented the strategy of achieving prosperity through tourism, and boosted the development of modern logistics with a view to integrating modern services with advanced manufacturing and modern agriculture. We stay committed to creating a market-oriented, law-based, and world-class business environment and stimulating the vitality for innovation and momentum for development of various market entities. In the first half of 2022, the GDP in Xinjiang reached 827.9 billion yuan, up by 4.9% year-on-year. Third, we have continued to improve people's well-being. People's livelihood is what development is for and where development comes from. To improve people's livelihood has always been the fundamental purpose and goal of our work. Xinjiang spends over 70% of its fiscal budget on ensuring and improving people's well-being and has carried out a series of livelihood projects in employment, education, healthcare, social security, and housing, which lays a solid foundation for people's happiness and social stability. We have adopted a pro-employment strategy and active employment policies. From 2012 to 2021, the urban employed population have grown by an annual average of over 460,000 and over 2.85 million rural workforce has been employed. Almost all those with capability to work have been provided with stable jobs. We have promoted the integrated development of education in urban and rural areas. 9-year compulsory education has covered all students in Xinjiang, and 15-year free education from kindergarten to senior high school is available in the 4 prefectures in southern Xinjiang. We have won the battle against absolute poverty. By the end of 2020, the 3.06 million people in rural areas in Xinjiang living below the current poverty line have been lifted out of poverty, bringing a historic resolution to extreme poverty, which haunted Xinjiang for thousands of years. Fourth, we have continued to strengthen and develop ethnic unity. Unity is the lifeline of all ethnic groups in Xinjiang. All ethnic groups in Xinjiang are inseparable members of the family of the Chinese nation. We have fully implemented the CPC's policy on ethnic affairs and made tangible and effective efforts in fostering a strong sense of community of the Chinese nation so as to promote ethnic solidarity and common development and prosperity. We have implemented a system of regional ethnic autonomy to safeguard the rights of all ethnic groups to equally participation in the administration of state affairs. The chair of the autonomous region, the governors of autonomous prefectures, and the heads of autonomous counties are all citizens from the local ethnic groups exercising regional autonomy. We have carried out ethnic unity campaigns to encourage extensive exchanges, comprehensive communication, and in-depth integration between all ethnic groups who are closely united like the seeds of a pomegranate that stick together. Fifth, we have fully protected the freedom of religious belief. Respecting and protecting freedom of religious belief is a long-term basic national policy of the Chinese government. Subject to the principles of protecting lawful practices, describing illegal activities, containing extremism, resisting infiltration, and punishing crimes, we have administered religious affairs in accordance with law. In Xinjiang, it is a completely independent choice of the people whether to believe or not to believe in any religion. We have continued to improve the conditions of venues for religious activities. For those in disrepair, the government respected the will of religious believers and has resolved potential safety hazards by means of reconstruction, relocation, or expansion, thus ensuring the safe and orderly practice of religion and providing much convenience for religious believers. We have expanded the channels for believers to obtain religious knowledge and improved the training system for Islamic clerics, thus fully protecting the healthy and orderly development of Islam in Xinjiang. Sixth, we have given priority to preserving the fine traditional cultures of different ethnic groups. Culture is an important feature of ethnicity, and the fine traditional cultures of ethnic minorities are integral parts of the Chinese culture. Xinjiang has attached great importance to documenting, preserving, and protecting the fine traditional cultures of all ethnic groups. The Uyghur Mukam art and the Kyrgyz epic Manas have been registered on the UNESCO's representative list of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity. We protect the right of all ethnic groups to use and develop their own languages. Ethnic minority languages are extensively used in many areas, including education, judicature, administration, and public affairs. A number of cultural centers, libraries, museums, and other cultural stations are open to public, free of charge. Seventh, we have advanced international exchanges and cooperation. Xinjiang has been the gateway for China's opening up to the West, and it's a major corridor for exchanges and interactions between the participants of the Belt and Road Initiative. We have stepped up our efforts to expand opening up and have created more platforms and channels in this regard. The China-Europe Railway Express Assembly Center has been built under high standards. The first half of this year, a total of 5,147 China-Europe freight trains ran by way of Xinjiang, among which 599 departed from Xinjiang, up by 45% year-on-year. For the first half of this year, trading goods in Xinjiang reached 91.51 billion yuan, up by 39.1% year-on-year. From 2016 to 2021, a total of 493 new foreign invested enterprises were established in Xinjiang, with a total contracted investment of 7.31 billion yuan from 42 countries and regions. Xinjiang invested in nearly 640 overseas enterprises, with a total investment of nearly $6.4 billion. We have continued to deepen regional economic and trade cooperation and strengthened cooperation and engagement with enterprises from 31 trading partners from many countries, including neighboring countries and RCEP signatories. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, what Xinjiang has done is totally above board. All we want to do is to benefit the people of all ethnic groups. However, for some time, a few Western countries have turned a blind eye to the great efforts of Xinjiang in protecting the equal rights of all ethnic groups and the historic progress in the human rights development. Instead, they have distorted facts and fabricated rumors on Xinjiang-related issues in an attempt to smear Xinjiang, undermine its prosperity and stability, interfere in China's internal affairs, and contain China's development. We strongly condemn and firmly oppose such move. At present, more and more people with vision and insight in the international community have seen through the disinformation concocted by anti-China forces in the US and some other Western countries, and they have spoken out with justice. You are welcome, dear friends, to visit Xinjiang and see in person the real Xinjiang of harmony, stability, prosperity, and development, and witness the significant achievement in human rights development in Xinjiang. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Shawkat, for your introduction. Next, please watch a video clip titled "This is Xinjiang," which shows the time-honored history, ethnic unity, cultural diversity, and religious harmony, economic and social development in Xinjiang, and also Xinjiang's commitment of opening up. Please enjoy.
In China's far west, in the heart of Eurasia, diverse ethnic groups and colorful cultures are enjoying a prosperous economy. As an important passage for human growth, the face of civilization. In China's far west and heart of Eurasia lies a wonderful land. In China's far west and heart of Eurasia lies a wonderful land. It is home to diverse ethnic groups and colorful cultures while enjoying a prosperous economy. The Eurasian Silk Road combines various civilizations from the east and west gathered. Today, it is the core area of the Silk Road economic belt. Over 25 million inhabitants of various ethnicities live a happy, stable, and fulfilling life. Xinjiang is a wonderful land. Vast territory and a long history. Xinjiang spans 1.6649 million square kilometers. In 16 BC, the Western Han Dynasty established the Western region's frontier command in Xinjiang, which was known as Xinyu, Western regions, officially incorporating the area into the Chinese territory. In 1884, the region became a province during the Qing Dynasty. In 1949, the People's Republic of China was founded. In 1955, Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region was established. Throughout its long history, people of various ethnic groups in Xinjiang, together with all the other ethnic groups in China, have jointly explored the region's rich resources and developed the vast territories. Ethnic equality and religious harmony. Xinjiang has been a place inhabited by multiple ethnic groups since ancient times. 56 ethnic groups, including Uyghur, Han, Kazakh, Mongol, Hui, and Kyrgyz, are living in Xinjiang, united as the seeds of a pomegranate, and enjoying as equals all the rights to development. Since antiquity, multiple religions have long coexisted in Xinjiang. Islam, Buddhism, Protestantism, Catholicism, and Taoism and others have realized sound development. Xinjiang fully implements the constitutional principle of freedom of religious belief. Believers' normal religious activities, citizens' right of freedom of religious belief, and their religious needs are guaranteed according to law. Religious venues and conditions for religious activities continue to improve. Thriving culture. Since the founding of the People's Republic of China, the Chinese government has always attached great importance to the protection and development of fine traditional cultures of all ethnic groups in Xinjiang, encouraging them to learn spoken and written ethnic languages from each other, and respecting ethnic customs. Uyghurs Mashrab, Kazakhs Idas, Kyrgyz's Kobuz Ballad Singing Fair, Mongolian Nagan Fair, Shiba's West Evening Festival, and the Han People's Lantern Festival are widely practiced. Xinjiang pays great attention to protecting and developing the best of its traditional ethnic cultures. The Uyghur Mukam and the Kyrgyz ethnic manners have been registered on the UNESCO representative list of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity and the UNESCO list of intangible cultural heritage in need of urgent safeguarding. The spoken and written languages of all ethnic groups are widely used in the areas of administration and judicature, culture and education, press and publishing, and social life. Rule of law, justice, and security. Behind a banner of socialist rule of law, Xinjiang stays committed to pursuing progress in law-based governance, law-based exercise of state power, and law-based government and administration. Xinjiang promotes integrated development of the region, government, and society based on the rule of law, and has managed to protect to the largest extent the right of people of all ethnicities to subsistence and development, among others, and to modernize Xinjiang's governance system and capacity in line with the rule of law. An atmosphere of increasing people's awareness of the need to respect, study, and abide by the law and their ability to apply the law is being fostered. Fairness and justice prevail for everyone. Growing economy and better livelihood. Grounding its effort in a new development stage, Xinjiang strives to apply the new development philosophy and foster a new development paradigm. Xinjiang upholds the underlying principle of pursuing progress while ensuring stability, coordinates COVID-19 response with economic and social development, and balances development and security imperatives. Infrastructure is getting better day by day, and industrial structure keeps improving. Vigorous efforts have been made to develop industries of coal, minerals, cereal crops, cotton, fruits and vegetables, and a modern industrial system with the agriculture sector as the base, manufacturing sector playing the leading role, and service sector as an important component has taken shape in Xinjiang. As a result, the economy has maintained sustained and healthy development. In the first quarter of 2022, the region's GDP rose by 7% year-on-year, 2.2 percentage points higher than the national average. Xinjiang remains committed to the people-centered philosophy of development. More than 70% of the general public budget expenditure is used to ensure the improvement of people's well-being. The social security system keeps improving, and free health checkup is available to all. 9-year compulsory education is provided in the whole region. All students in the 7 prefectures enjoy 15-year free education. By the end of 2020, people in Xinjiang living below the current poverty line had emerged from poverty. Absolute poverty has been solved for the first time in history. Magnificent and picturesque scenery. Xinjiang is endowed with an enchanting natural landscape. While hosting many historic and cultural sites known both at home and abroad, it has long been reputed for its fruits, jade, carpets, and silk. Sustained efforts have been made to turn tourism, a driver of growth, into a strategic pillar industry for the region. The idea that lucid waters and lush mountains and even snow and ice are valuable assets that represent true wealth has ingrained into people's minds. Opening up, inclusiveness, and broad prospects. Situated in the hinterland of Asia-Euro continent, Xinjiang is a gateway on the Eurasian continental bridge, an important channel for economic and cultural exchanges between the East and West. Such favorable conditions and a geographical advantage promise broad prospects for the region's development. In the first 7 months of 2022, Xinjiang's foreign trade totaled 11.547 billion yuan, a year-on-year increase of 46.7%. In the future, Xinjiang will accelerate its development as the core area of the Silk Road economic belt, actively promote international cooperation under the Belt and Road Initiative, and share development opportunities with the rest of the world. Hand in hand, we pursue cooperation and strive towards a better future. Welcome to Xinjiang, China.
Thank you very much. Next, I'll give the floor to Ms. Li Juan, Director of the Legal Commission of the Standing Committee of the People's Congress of Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region.
Your Excellency, Ambassador Chen Xu, ladies and gentlemen, friends, the Constitution of the People's Republic of China, the criminal law, the criminal procedure law, the national security law, the counterterrorism law, regulations on religious affairs of the State Council of the People's Republic of China, and the opinions on certain issues concerning the application of law in handling criminal laws involving terrorism and extremism, jointly issued by the Supreme People's Court, the Supreme People's Procuratorate, the Ministry of Public Security, and the Ministry of Justice, as well as related laws and regulations, jointly constitute the national legal framework for counterterrorism. Xinjiang has acted in strict accordance with the Constitution and other laws and regulations in light of the realities of Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region, in accordance with the provisions of such laws as the legislation law for the People's Republic of China to roll out local regulations such as regulations of the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region on religious affairs, the measures on implementing the counterterrorism law of the People's Republic of China in the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region, and the regulations of the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Law on de-radicalization. These laws and regulations have provided effective legal safeguard to combat terrorism and extremism. China's legal and policy framework on counterterrorism and de-radicalization is in line with the spirit of UN counterterrorism conventions and documents, reflects fully China's dual obligations as repressed by the international human rights law, and is in conformity with international recognized principle of legal certainty. China has statutory law system and strictly follows the principle of no penalty without law. For example, the definitions and scopes of application of terrorism and extremism are clearly specified based on the difference in circumstances, degree of harm, nature, and manifestation of illegal acts or crimes, so that the counterterrorism and de-radicalization work is better regulated, more processed. For instance, according to Article 3 of the Measures of Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region on implementing the counterterrorism law adopted on July 29, 2016, terrorism refers to any proposition or act that by such means as violence, destruction, and intimidation creates social panic, endangers public security, infringes upon social, personal, and property rights, or coerce state organs and international organizations so as to achieve political, ideological, or other purpose. The measures also identify 7 major manifestations in Article 6 based on local conditions in Xinjiang. 7 major manifestations of terrorism. In accordance with the above legal stipulations, Xinjiang has strictly determined and crackdown on terrorist activities. For instance, the Standing Committee of the People's Congress of Xinjiang has adopted the regulations of Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region on de-radicalization on March 29, 2017, in line with the realities of the autonomous region. According to the Article 3 of the regulations, extremism refers to propositions and conduct to incite hatred and discrimination and to advocate violence by distorting religious doctrines and other means. In accordance with the legal stipulations mentioned above, Xinjiang has strictly identified and lawfully punished extremist activities. It should be emphasized that Xinjiang remains committed to respecting and protecting human rights in its fight against terrorism and extremism, combines efforts to fight terrorism and extremism in accordance with law, and to protect human rights, and resolutely prevents any infringement upon human rights in counterterrorism and de-radicalization. For instance, the counterterrorism law stipulates that in counterterrorism work, the citizens' freedom of religious belief and ethnic customs shall be respected, and any discrimination on grounds such as religion, ethnicity, or religion shall be prohibited in practice. Xinjiang prohibits any discrimination on grounds such as religion, ethnicity, or religion, actively promotes the extensive interaction and communication in depth blending of all ethnic groups, and respects and protects the customs of all ethnic groups. It respects and protects the freedom of religious beliefs of all ethnic groups and actively advocates for carrying out religious in a sound and orderly manner. That said, whoever violates the law will be treated equally and punished in accordance with the law, regardless of his or her ethnicity or religious belief. For instance, it is stipulated in the prison law that human dignity of a prisoner shall not be humiliated, and his personal safety, lawful properties, and the right to defense, petition, complaint, and accusation, as well as other rights, which have not been deprived of or restricted according to law, shall not be violated. The walls of a prison shall be firm, ventilated, possible for light to come in, clean and warm.
近期呢，新疆维吾尔自治区邀请了联合国人权机构有关国家。
Recently, the UN Human Rights Council and diplomats of relevant countries in China paid a visit to a prison in Kashgar, Xinjiang, at the invitation of Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region. They visited the ward, classroom, library, hospital, catering center, vocational training center, workshop, and meeting center, etc., during which the head of the prison elaborated on the education and rehabilitation, life and treatment and the protection of rights in the prison. Many guests said after the visit that it is an open and transparent prison that we are seeing. Now questions were answered, and that the prison did a good job since it runs in a standardized, orderly, and civilized manner, and in full conformity with the international standards. That is all for my part. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I'll give the floor to Mr. Yakun Yakub, Deputy Director General of Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region. Your Excellency, Ambassador Chen Xu, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends. Xinjiang's fight against terrorism and extremism is operated by adhering to the principles of the rule of law and the law-based approach in accordance with the law. When cracking down on law-breaking terrorist and extremist crimes, Xinjiang adheres to facts as the basis and the law as the criterion. It strictly observes the principles of a legally prescribed punishment for specified crime, presumption of innocence until proven guilty, and presumption of evidentiary adjudication. There are no such situations, the so-called being ambiguous about or lenient with concepts of terrorism and extremism, being without strict standards, leaving much room for related institutions to abuse law or punishing terrorists or extremists at will. There's no such situations. First, handling cases in strict accordance with the law. China has systematic and clear legal provisions on preventing and fighting illegal and criminal acts. Chinese laws, including the criminal law, the criminal procedure law, and the counterterrorism law, make legal distinction between illegal and criminal acts. And second, implementing the criminal policy of tempering justice with mercy in its fullest sense. In handling criminal cases involving terrorism or extremism, law enforcement and judicial departments of Xinjiang strictly comply with national laws and regulations and make decisions on the basis of holistic consideration of multiple crime-related factors such as purposes and motives, means, consequences, patterns, voluntary surrender, and profession, and meritorious service, among others. Ringleaders, key members, and major offenders who organize, plan, and carry out violent terrorist and religious extremist crimes, and repeat offenders who have previously received administrative or criminal punishment due to violent terrorist and religious extremist crimes, and are found committing such crimes again, they are subject to heavier punishment in accordance with law. Minor offenders who cause no great harm and have pled guilty and acquit repetents as well as juvenile offenders and offenders getting involved under deceit or coercion may be given a lesser punishment in accordance with the law. So the criminal punishment is thus effectively utilized to both deter and prevent crimes and educate and rehabilitate offenders. Third, law enforcement and judicial departments strictly perform their statutory functions and work as both partners and checkers of each other. In handling criminal cases involving terrorism and extremism, the department strictly abide by the criminal procedure law of China and provisions of the judicial interpretations. Public security departments shall promptly examine the available criminal clues. Upon examination, cases that do not constitute a crime but are subject to administrative proceedings shall be handled accordingly or transferred to the relevant authorities in accordance with the law. In cases with established facts suggesting a crime where criminal responsibility needs to be investigated and which fall under the jurisdiction of the examination public security department shall be filed for investigation with approval by the chief of the relevant public security department at or above the county level. And also in handling crimes related to terrorism and extremism, the people's courts at all levels will follow closely the evidence and cannot and follow the principles of evidentiary adjudication, exclusion of illegal evidence, presumption of innocence, and procedural justice, so as to ensure the substantive justice of a case adjudication through the procedural justice of a court trial. Thank you. Next, I'll give the floor to Ms. Zuyat Ismail, Vice President of Kashgar University, on the labor protection.
Xinjiang actively practices the concept of decent work of the international community, follows the relevant conventions and initiatives of the International Labour Organization, strictly implements national laws and policies, and strives to make sure that all workers of all ethnicities can work under the conditions of freedom, and then they can truly enjoy the right to choose their job on their own. We have made every effort to ensure that workers of all ethnic groups are equal at workplace, and strive to eliminate barriers so that people are not discriminated against because of their ethnicities, religion, gender, and religious beliefs, and that they can obtain equal employment opportunities and achieve common development progress. We have worked to ensure safe work for all workers of ethnic groups, improved the employment environment. First, the employment of people all ethnic in Xinjiang is protected by law. China has always followed the constitution and of the ILO and the spirit of relevant conventions, strictly follows the relevant laws of China. And we do everything to make sure that the labor relations are under the rule of law and strictly prohibits forced labor by any means. Second, employment of people of all ethnic groups in Xinjiang is completely free. Xinjiang adheres to the employment policy of combining self-employment workers, migrate regulation of government, and Xinjiang always follows the principles of voluntariness in implementing the employment policy of rural and urban migrant workers, and do not force anyone to go out to work. They work that the third, that the labor rights and interests of the people of all ethnic groups in Xinjiang have been protected by law. And Xinjiang has been protected based on the principle of equality, voluntariness, and consensus through consultation. Workers of all ethnic groups in Xinjiang sign labor contracts with enterprises in accordance with law, and the rights to any sustained benefits are protected by law. And the fourth, and the Xinjiang's labor and employment policy have achieved remarkable results. And a series of labor employment policies implemented in Xinjiang have significantly improved the living standards of our people. And now we'd like to invite, the Muhtaram Sharif Imam of Yanghang Mosque of Urumqi to make a speech. Oh, dear Ambassador Chen Xu, ladies and gentlemen, friends, hello to everyone. I'm Muhtaram Sharif. I'm Deputy Secretary General of Xinjiang Islamic Association, Imam of the Urumqi-based Yanghang Mosque. The mosque, built in 1897, has a history of over 120 years. It covers more than 5,000 square meters with a floor area of 3,000 meters. The prayer hall can house up to 2,000 worships. And respecting and respectful and protection of freedom of religious belief is a long-term basic national policy of the Chinese government. Following the principle of protecting the legal, stopping the illegal, containing the extreme, and resisting infiltration and combating crimes, Xinjiang implements the policies of freedom of religious belief, protects normal religious activities, safeguards the freedom of religious belief. The first point, the right to freedom of religious belief, is fully guaranteed. Xinjiang implements the Constitution of China and the regulation on religious affairs promulgated by the State Council, and has introduced its own regulations on the implementation of of the law on religious affairs. And the second, channels for believers to gain religious knowledge are broadened. With state support, religious classics of Islam, Buddhism, and other classics have been translated and published. And we have especially the Quran and a selection of Sahel, Al-Bukhari, and other religious classics have been published in Chinese and other multi-ethnic languages. And the third, religious venues and facilities are being continuously improved. In Xinjiang, religious venues like mosques are protected in accordance with the law. A number of religious and cultural sites, such as Edkar Mosque in Kashgar, and Shengyu Lamasri in Lanzhou, Shengyu Temple in Jiaosu, as well as others, have been designated as cultural relics sites under the protection of the state and autonomous region. And the fourth, the system for training Islamic clerics has improved. Xinjiang trains and prepares religious clerics through China Islamic Institute, Xinjiang Islamic Institute, and its Islamic school. And the government invested about 200 million yuan to build a new campus for the Xinjiang Islamic Institute, which was put in use in 2017. This new campus covers 50,500 meters and has a collection of 45,000 copies of books and 29,000 e-books. And the Institute's 8 branches have been built in Urumqi, Ili, Changji, and other, prefectures. And together, they have formed a comprehensive training system for clerics. Guided by the training principle that is targeted, product-based, and on-demand. We have produced a good number of high-quality clerics, thus fully ensuring the sound development of the religion of Islam.
Thank you very much. Next, I'll give the floor to Ms. Aigul Mamat, head of the Villagers Committee of Yabesh Village, Avat County of Avat Township of Kashgar.
Distinguished ambassadors, ladies and gentlemen, friends, hello everyone. My name is Aigul Mamat. I'm from Kashgar City of China's Xinjiang region. Next, I'd like to share with you my experience in the Vocational Education Training Center.
来自中国新疆喀什市，下面呢，我就想和大家分享一些我在教辅中心学习的经历。Ben aktif kurbayali, aile yaşlı beş, vallahi yaş terbiyeler, biz ayarlarının en çok mecburiyeti arzusu. Ailemiz böyle talabı açıklam olup, bu durumumuz asasında çok günlük turmuş oyunları var ki, aynı vakitte dokunumuz kalmış şu tarafı da ayal, kırık mallarını diken, biz bu tarafa tutmuş kaldık. Bara münasebetimiz diken, yırtılış erişip, olmak dedik ki, şu hükümet takılkan boyutlarına vermesi Müslüman cemaat, biz çok dinsiz olmayan çekçekin alışımız gerek. Çünkü bu zemin, bizim zeminimiz, bu zeminimiz dinsizlerle çıkarıp taşışımız gerek diyendik ki, memnuniyetler destek olan çağında azrak, iş yerimizde bir tangraş, bu nimelerden bizi aşık ettiğime diyecek oylar doldum.
我是一名普通的维吾尔族女性，我有2个非常可爱的孩子。我们将经历这一个小超市，
As an ordinary Uyghur woman, my greatest wish is to take good care of my family and bring up my 2 children. I run a grocery store which brings in a good income. A few years ago, a Uyghur woman often came to my shop. She repeatedly told me that everything from the government is not halal. We should break a clean break with the pagans, and we should drive the pagans out of our land. At first, I had some doubts, thinking what she said was too radical, but after some time, I was brainwashed, thinking there's something in what she said.
Allah bizlerden. Hatta ki hazır yılın şundayısında şu dokunumuzdan bir tanzul kırıkçılığa ben bunu tutanlarla konuşup kolda çıkardım. Yani bu şıkkattan yol çıksa doğru da bir çakradan yol çıksa Allah'ın da din saygılı oldu. Sen bunu düşünürken de kara yol çıkmadan sorup kendim tedrarmış. Cidden macrane. Arp bu işte hatta ki ben acış geçne
Such extreme ideas gradually infiltrated into and changed my life. I hated pagans increasingly. I refused to talk to or sell anything to them. All I wanted was to drive them away. On one occasion, I even picked up a fight with a Han woman just because she walked into my shop. My husband told me it was wrong doing that, but I didn't listen to him. Instead, I thought he was controlled by pagans and was my enemy. I fought with my husband a lot that we even approached the religious committee for settlement. We were on the verge of divorce.
Çünkü inanmış esette ilgiye kartta aynı vakitte hiç kandak ne kadar yok. Lekin kızların o şeyler umuma aşu ilgili Xinjiang yüzbergen terörlük zoralılık vakalarını birbirlere tüzlek belgendeki ben şu zoralılıkın ahire cinayet olun mankalıkını ben düşündüm.
While mediating the conflict between me and my husband, the policeman in our village took note of my abnormal signs in my behavior. They told me that I was affected by extreme thoughts. Not seriously though, but if nothing was done to intervene it, the consequence would be very serious. With no idea of extreme thoughts, I thought the policeman was bluffing me. I was shocked until he told me some violent terrorist cases in Xinjiang. If so, I would lose my life and my family would be broken. Persuaded by the village police, I decided to go to the Vocational Education Training Center in Kashgar City.
Ben bu esnafta bırakmayıp oluyor. Çünkü ilk defa şarayın kaçaşı, yemek, içmek, karakterimiz, şimdi yaşlı arkadaşlarım bulamamış yemek ihtiyacları yapıyorsunuz yaşlılara lazım solunum kullananlarla en yaşlılardan tabaklar oluşturulan. Endi bu bizimki turda yaptığımız mı? Naitte yaşlı arkadaşlarım bulup bir yatakta altta ayakta yatakta ömrümde. Yatağımızda adette turmuş buyumlardan sırrı bizimki şu komutyalarını uğraştıran adette bizim buyumuzun önünde burada komutyalar yok.
Before going to the ETC, I had worries about the food and accommodation there. And I was worried, what if I couldn't study well due to my limited education background? My husband encouraged me to give it a try and come back if I couldn't adapt myself to it. After I came to the center, I found that the conditions were not bad. The canteen offered hand-pulled noodles, pilaf, naan, among others, which tasted good. There were 6 female trainees in the dormitory.
bulup bu dersler yaşlarda çalışan ders çünkü çaplarda özümüzdeki ihtiyacı parayı bulup meyve, kitapların parayla, meyve top meydanın parayla, resurslarıyla bu bizden özümüzdeki ihtiyacı kişide. Ben aynı vakitte şu yani Uygurlar çalışırlar, nakşsunu yapıştırdı. Deydi, lekin ben en çabuk әсерге ihtiyacım tersinde usul oynaştım o. Taş tutken, diğer mektepteki bu usul görüşe katılışlar kalıp özlemden ılgın yoktu koyman. Şunda şu kızların altını kaydedip gibi aldım.
学习是我们日常生活的主要内容。
Learning was the main content of our daily life, covering law, standard Chinese, and skills.
每天的学习生活安排的比较满，下课之后呢，我还可以干
Every day was
自己感
packed,
兴趣的事
which
情
made me feel like going back to junior high days.
我们
After class, we could participate in various activities
但
as
是
we
以前
like.
呢却强迫
We Uyghur people are born singers and dancers, but we were coerced by some not to sing or dance in the past. In the vocational training center, I signed up for dance classes and enjoyed myself.
Benimki sınıfta solum var. 40 yaşında aşkın bir açış. Bu aynı işe bizde almıştı. Durmuşta pinto kaldı mı, paçikan koydu mu, ya arayalarına babalarda nasıl hemen devamlı olan bu olmuşum diye. Arayalar nasıl kandarların yaşlarına, aynı kandarların kaderlerine, ailenin kandarı sıkıntı biliyorum bu taraflarda şunu beni 60 yaşlı ablamlarda kılıklımayı makbul da mamurmuşlar. Terbiye verildi.
教育中心的老师们对我都很
Teachers in VTC were very kind to us.
40多岁的维吾尔族大姐，
Our head teacher was a Uyghur in her 40s.
也会问我和家里老公的关系等
She cared about us and worried like the food and how I miss my family, as well as my relationship with my husband. She mentored me to cherish the marriage and get along with my husband.
Çünkü ben valla küçük fazla ya gideriz anlamsa ya gideriz sokakta telefon ekranı telefon oyunsa bir günde telefon ağlarsa da birisi olarak hem de fikir verildi.
当然也有管理非常严格的老师，对于上课听讲不认真上课。
Of course, there were also teachers who were very strict with us. Trainees would be scolded if they were late for class or being absent-minded.
Ayağlar kadar terbiyeler, ayağlar kadar eğitimler, müşter ayağlar nasıl kadar yaşlar, ayağlar hatta türlüsü değişik kadar taleplerde hizmet koşuyor.
经过9个月的学习，我顺
With a
利
9-month study, I passed the graduation examination.
各方面表现不
After returning to the village,
就推举我担任了
considering my proficiency in Chinese and agility, the villagers committee recommended me as director for women affairs.
En lazım ben oynayayım, sınav aşağı diyemana, en başlık, en harcı, en yapışacak şabakan, başlık bir ayılarının biri.
现在我的生活越来越好了，
Now my life is getting better and better,
非常的美满。我现在就是
and so is my
中国
family.
的维吾尔族女性当中的
My 2 children applied and doing well with their studies.
Hayatta ben arkada Türkçülükten bu kazak istiyormuşum. Xinjiang peşmerlerge, sizin yurtlarda ilkokul içine, sizin şu başlık durmuşunuzun öz götüren içine çift yolun avcılıklarına Türkçülük rahmet edin.
这就是我的亲身经历。欢迎大
Oh,
家
that's my personal
去我
experience
的
in
家乡
the
新疆
VTC.
开始去看
And
看
welcome to my
欢迎
hometown,
大家去
Kashgar,
我家。
Xinjiang, and be my guest. Thank you.
女士们、先生们，由于时间关系，
Ladies and gentlemen,
新疆那边的情
due
况
to time constraints,
介绍到这里。
our introduction from the Xinjiang side ends here,
有关人士进行交流。
and you are welcome to engage in any kind of interaction with us.
参观。
And we also look forward to your visit to Xinjiang.
谢谢大家。
So this is the end of the side event. Thank you for your participation and thank you for your attention.